Have you ever wondered why the rich keep getting richer, while the poor and middle class often stay stuck in a cycle of survival? What exactly are wealthy families teaching their kids that most people never hear in school or at home? Today we dive into one of the most powerful personal finance books ever written, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, by Robert Kiyosaki. This isn't just a book, it's a blueprint to escape the rat race. Welcome to Invested Intellect, your place to grow smarter with money, mindset, and motivation. Chapter 1. The Rich Don't Work for Money. Explained in detail. Rich Dad, Poor Dad summary. Imagine being just 9 years old and already being told, don't work for money, make money work for you. Confused? So was Robert. This chapter starts not with money but with a mindset shift so powerful it can change the way you see your job, your salary, and your entire future. Welcome back to Invested Intellect, where today we unlock the first secret of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, a lesson the poor never teach and the rich never forget. Robert and his best friend Mike were just kids when they asked Mike's dad, the rich dad, how to become rich. Instead of giving them money or advice, he gave them a job, working for just 10 cents an hour in his small convenience store. The goal? Not to make money, but to teach a deeper lesson. Most people work hard for money all their lives without ever questioning why. The trap of the rat race. Poor dad said, study hard so you can get a secure job. Rich dad said, that's how you become a slave to money. Robert was angry. He hated working for such little pay. When he finally complained, Rich Dad said, that's how most people live, angry about their pay, but afraid to quit. Rich Dad was teaching him something deeper. Most people are controlled by fear of being broke and desire for comfort and luxury. So they keep working harder for money. But the rich understand money and learn to make it work for them. Rich Dad taught, don't chase a high-paying job. Instead, learn how money works. Build assets that generate passive income like real estate, stocks, businesses, so money flows to you even while you sleep. He told Robert, if you don't learn this now, you'll grow up to be just like most people, trapped in a job, dependent on a paycheck, and scared of change. So what's the first real lesson from Rich Dad? Don't work for money. Let money work for you. It's not about quitting your job tomorrow. It's about changing your mindset today. But wait, if the rich don't work for money, then how do they start building assets when they're still broke? That's exactly what Chapter 2 reveals. Don't miss it because it contains the foundation of real wealth creation. Chapter 2. Why teach financial literacy? 1. The big misunderstanding. People often confuse being rich with earning a high income. But Robert's Rich Dad said, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep and how long that money works for you. Most people earn well, but still live paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because they don't understand the difference between assets and liabilities. 2. What is financial literacy? Financial literacy means understanding how money works, especially how to read financial statements, how to identify assets vs liabilities, how to manage cash flow, how to reduce taxes legally, and how to make your money grow. Schools teach people how to earn money but not what to do after they earn it. Rich Dad believed this is the most dangerous gap in modern education. 3. The simple formula of the rich. Rich people follow a very simple principle. They acquire assets that generate income. The poor and middle class, they acquire liabilities that look like assets. Let's break it down. A house you live in is usually a liability, not an asset. A car is a liability. Expensive gadgets, vacations, and even big homes increase expenses. On the other hand, real assets are businesses that generate cash flow, rental properties, stocks and bonds, intellectual property like books or online courses, anything that puts money into your pocket every month. 4. The cash flow pattern. Kiyosaki describes how different people handle money. Poor people spend everything they earn. Middle class people earn, then buy liabilities, thinking they are assets. Rich people earn and use that money to buy assets, which then produce more income. It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter and making your money work for you. If you want to be truly wealthy, you must develop the ability to look at a financial opportunity and instantly know, is this an asset or a liability? Will this increase my monthly cash flow or drain it? Does this move me closer to freedom or deeper into financial stress? That's what financial literacy is all about. And that's the foundation of becoming rich. But now comes the bigger question. Even if you understand assets and liabilities, how do you start building assets when you're stuck in a full-time job and have no time or capital? In Chapter 3, Robert Kiyosaki shares how you can break free from that trap and start minding your own business. Chapter 3, Mind Your Own Business. 1. What does mind your own business mean? Most people confuse profession with business. Your profession is your job, the thing you do to earn a paycheck. But your business is what you build that generates income independent of your job. Robert Kiyosaki kept working as an employee while slowly building his own assets on the side. That was his real business. So when Rich Dad says mind your own business, he means focus on building assets that you own. Develop income streams that don't depend on your job. Don't get caught in the rat race where you earn, spend, and repeat. 2. The trap of a job. Poor dad believed in job security, promotions, and pensions. Rich dad believed in financial freedom, and he knew that no job could offer that forever. He said, your boss's job is to grow his business. Your job is to grow your own business quietly, smartly, and consistently. Most people spend decades working for someone else, only to retire broke. Why? Because they never focused on building something of their own. 3. The true business of the rich. Kiyosaki gives examples of what rich people invest their time and money into: buying and managing rental properties, building scalable businesses, acquiring stocks and mutual funds, licensing intellectual property like books, courses, patents, investing in income-generating assets. These are not side hustles for extra cash. These are long-term vehicles for wealth creation. And the best part? They grow even when you're sleeping if you build them right. 4. Don't confuse your job with your business. Kiyosaki warns, even if you're a doctor, engineer, or lawyer, don't think your profession is your business. As long as you're exchanging time for money, you're working in someone else's system. The real game starts when you create your own system, your own business that can survive and grow without you being present every minute. Start small. Start with knowledge. Start with discipline. Every month, take a portion of your salary and invest it in learning and building your own assets. Even if your job is great, use it as a stepping stone, not a destination. Rich Dad's advice was clear. Focus less on your boss's business and more on your own, because one day, that's what will give you freedom. But now comes a new challenge. Even if you start building your own business or assets, how do you handle taxes, debt, and risk? In Chapter 4, Robert Kiyosaki reveals how the rich use financial knowledge to reduce taxes legally, manage debt smartly, and build wealth faster than most people can imagine. Chapter 4. The History of Taxes and the Power of Corporations. 1. A brief history of taxes. Kiyosaki explains that taxes, as we know them today, were not always meant for everyone. In earlier centuries, only the rich and powerful paid taxes, and even that was temporary. Over time, governments realized they could fund wars and public projects by taxing the working class. Taxes were introduced as a temporary solution, but they quickly became permanent. The promise was, tax the rich and help the poor. But what happened? The rich adapted. The poor and middle class paid the price. 2. Why the rich don't fear taxes? Rich people don't just earn money, they structure their money. And their favorite tool? Corporations. While employees earn, get taxed, and then spend what's left. Corporations earn, spend, and then get taxed on what's left. That one difference creates a massive financial advantage. For example, if you earn 1 rupee 0.0000 as a salary, you pay tax first, then pay for your expenses. But if you earn 1 rupee 0.0000 through a corporation, you can pay business expenses like rent, travel, education, and pay taxes on what remains. 3. Understanding the corporate advantage. A corporation is not just a business. It's a legal shield that provides 4 key benefits. 1. Tax advantages. Corporations are taxed differently and often more favorably than individuals. 2. Expense deductions. Business expenses are deducted before tax, reducing taxable income. 3. Asset protection. If your business is sued, your personal assets stay protected. 4. Control. You decide how to pay yourself salary, dividends, or reinvestments, giving you strategic flexibility. Kiyosaki emphasizes, the rich don't necessarily work harder. They work smarter with systems that reduce risk and increase return. 4. The financial education gap. Poor dad never taught Robert about corporations. Why? Because schools don't teach financial strategy. They teach compliance. But rich dad believed, if you want to beat the system, you have to understand the system. The poor and middle class fear taxes. The rich study them, plan for them, and benefit from them. Financial literacy isn't just about money. It's about how money flows through the system and how to control that flow. If you're serious about wealth, start learning how corporations work, what tax laws apply to you, how to structure your income for protection and growth, and how to turn financial knowledge into financial leverage. Because money doesn't flow to those who work the hardest. It flows to those who understand how to protect and multiply it. But even if you structure your money smartly, how do you deal with one of the biggest challenges in financial growth: fear and self-doubt? In Chapter 5, Kiyosaki reveals how emotions like fear, cynicism, laziness, and arrogance silently destroy financial potential even for smart people. Chapter 5. The Rich Invent Money. 1. The Power of Financial IQ. Kiyosaki explains that financial success is less about how much money you have and more about your financial IQ, your ability to spot opportunities and act on them. Most people see obstacles like lack of money or experience and stop. The rich see possibility. They find creative ways to raise capital, negotiate deals, and reduce risk. 2. Taking calculated risks. Rich dad taught Kiyosaki that risk is not the enemy, ignorance is. The poor avoid risk by doing nothing or playing it safe. The rich take calculated risks based on knowledge, research, and advice. They don't gamble, they invest smartly. 3. Using leverage to multiply money. Leverage means using other people's money, time, and resources to grow your wealth faster. For example, borrowing money to buy real estate that generates cash flow, partnering with others who bring skills or capital, using credit wisely to invest, not consume. Rich people master leverage to create opportunities that others miss. 4. Creativity over capital. Many people think you need a lot of money to start investing. Kiyosaki's rich dad proved that with creativity and financial knowledge, even little money can grow into much more. Examples include structuring deals with little or no money down, creating businesses that solve problems and generate cash flow, using legal and financial strategies to maximize profits. The biggest asset you have is your mind. Financial intelligence, creativity, and willingness to learn will set you apart. You don't need a fat bank account to start. You need the courage and knowledge to invent money and make your own opportunities. But even if you become financially creative, how do you protect yourself from one of the biggest threats to wealth: bad advice and scams? In Chapter 6, Robert Kiyosaki explains how to recognize and avoid financial traps so you can keep growing your wealth safely. Chapter 6. Work to learn, don't work for money. 1. The Trap of Specialization. Robert's poor dad believed in academic education and job specialization. He thought, get good grades, get a good degree, get a secure job. But rich dad warned, in the real world, the more specialized you are, the more dependent you become. Why? Because if your one skill becomes obsolete or your job is eliminated, you're stuck. Wealthy people, on the other hand, build a broad set of skills, especially in sales, marketing, communication, investing, and leadership. 2. Learn how to sell, communicate, and lead. Kiyosaki shares a personal example. He took a job at Xerox not because he wanted to be in sales, but because he wanted to overcome his fear of rejection and learn how to sell, a vital skill in business and life. He also stresses, learn how to negotiate deals, understand cash flow and accounting, develop strong people and leadership skills. These are the skills that create entrepreneurs, not just employees. 3. Don't let ego block your growth. Many educated professionals say, I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, or I'm an accountant. They hold on to their title, and that limits their willingness to learn other skills. Rich dad called this intellectual arrogance. He believed, the world doesn't pay you for your degree, it pays you for the value you bring. To increase your income, increase your ability to solve problems, not just your resume. 4. Be a student of life. The rich constantly ask, what new skill can I learn? What market trend can I study? What system can I build? They read, experiment, fail, and grow. Poor dad feared failure. Rich dad embraced it as part of learning. You grow rich by growing your value, not just your income. If you want to build wealth, don't chase just promotions. Chase education through experience. Work different roles. Learn sales. Understand systems. Build multiple skills that combine into something powerful. Because in the real world, the highest paid people are not those who know the most, they are the ones who can do the most. But even if you're learning new skills and building your value, what's the real difference between being rich and being wealthy? In the next part of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Kiyosaki reveals what truly separates long-term financial freedom from short-term success. Chapter 7: Overcoming Obstacles. Robert Kiyosaki explains that it's not just financial education that makes you rich, it's also your mindset. Even the smartest people fail financially because they can't conquer 5 major obstacles. Fear. Especially the fear of losing money. Most people are so afraid of failure, rejection, or financial loss that they never take action. They play it safe, keep saving, and avoid risk. But as Rich Dad said, winners are not people who never fail, they are people who never quit. The rich embrace failure as a stepping stone to success. They learn from their losses and come back stronger. Cynicism, doubt, and negative self-talk. Whenever an opportunity comes, cynicism whispers, "What if it doesn't work? It's too risky. People will laugh at you." These doubts often come from family, friends, and media. Rich Dad taught, don't let other people's fear become your reality. The rich trust their financial knowledge and make bold, informed moves. Laziness. Not being proactive with your time. Kiyosaki says, busy people are often the laziest. They hide behind work, routines, or entertainment, instead of doing the hard thinking, like finding investments, learning new skills, or building passive income streams. Rich people prioritize what's important, not what's urgent. Bad habits. Especially the habit of spending before investing. Poor dad always paid his bills first and invested whatever was left. Rich dad taught the opposite. Pay yourself first, invest first, then manage expenses. This habit creates financial discipline and pressure to earn more, not just spend more. Arrogance thinking. You know everything. Many people say, "I already know that," and close their mind to new ideas. Rich people are lifelong students. They ask questions. They hire experts. They learn from everyone, even failures. Arrogance shuts down growth. Humility opens new doors. The journey to wealth is not just about learning how to make money. It's about learning how to handle yourself when emotions take over. Fear, doubt, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance are real enemies. But once you master your mindset, money becomes a tool, not a struggle. So now you know what's holding most people back. But here's the real question. Even if you overcome your fears, where do you actually start investing your money wisely? In the next part of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert shares the exact blueprint for finding and evaluating great investments. Chapter 8: Getting Started. In this chapter, Robert doesn't give you a shortcut to get rich overnight. He gives you a mindset and an action plan, one that works for anyone willing to think differently and act daily. Here are the 10 steps to get started, according to Robert. Find a strong reason, a deep emotional why. Money alone isn't enough to motivate you long term. You need a powerful reason, like freedom, security for your family, or time independence. This emotional drive will help you push through fear and doubt. Choose daily power of discipline. Every day you're either choosing to be rich, poor, or middle class based on your habits. Rich Dad believed, your future is shaped by what you do daily, not someday. So choose your learning, reading, saving, and investing habits wisely. Choose your friends carefully. Surround yourself with people who discuss ideas, wealth, growth, not gossip, fear, and limitations. Robert says, you become like the people you spend most time with. Master one formula, then learn a new one. Start with one way to make or invest money, and then expand. Don't chase every new trend. Learn deeply, then diversify. Pay yourself first. Before you pay bills or spend money, invest something in your future. This forces you to think smarter and earn more to meet your expenses. This habit builds financial discipline. Pay your brokers well. When you invest, whether in stocks, real estate, or business value, those who help you. If your advisors and brokers earn well, they'll bring you better deals and guidance. Be an Indian giver, understand returns. Before you invest, ask, What do I get in return? How soon? Rich people always think in terms of value exchange, not just generosity. Use assets to buy luxuries. Don't spend your salary on cars or gadgets. Buy assets that generate cash flow and let that income fund your luxuries. Have heroes. Study those who've built wealth: Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, or anyone you admire. Ask, what would they do in my situation? Heroes give direction when you're lost. Teach and you'll learn. The best way to master something is to teach it. Share what you learn with friends, family, or even online. It deepens your understanding and keeps you accountable. You don't need to be born rich to become rich. What you need is a strong reason, daily financial discipline, and the willingness to keep learning and applying. The rich start by thinking differently and then acting consistently. Start small. Think big. Grow fast. So now you know how to get started. But what if you want to go even further? What if you want to not just earn, but create systems that generate income while you sleep? In the next and final chapter of Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert reveals the power of taking action and building momentum. Chapter 9. Still want more? Here are some to-dos. In Chapter 9, Robert shares some simple but powerful to-dos, actions that anyone can start today, no matter their age, background, or income. Here are the top tips he shares to build your wealth journey. Stop doing what you're doing if it's not working. If you're struggling financially or unhappy with your job or business, stop, pause, reflect. As Robert says, insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. To move forward, you have to change your thinking and actions. Look for new ideas. The world is full of opportunities, but most people don't see them because they're not looking with financial eyes. Start reading business magazines, investment reports, attending seminars, or simply observe how rich people earn. Train your brain to see opportunity where others see risk. Find someone who has done what you want to do. Learn from mentors. Don't try to figure everything out on your own. Robert learned from his rich dad. You should find someone who's financially smarter than you and study their path. Take classes, buy tapes, attend seminars. Education is not just in school, it's a lifelong process. Robert says, the more you learn, the more you earn. Instead of entertainment, invest in financial education. Make lots of offers. Whether you're buying real estate, negotiating a salary, or proposing a business deal, take more shots. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity. The rich succeed because they're constantly in the game. More offers equals more chances, equals more learning, equals more wealth. Don't be afraid to fail. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of success. The poor avoid failure. The rich use it to refine their strategies. Take action. This is the most important step of all. Reading, learning, listening, it's all useless if you don't act. Rich Dad always said, action beats inaction every single time. This final chapter is a call to action. Robert Kiyosaki doesn't just want you to read about money. He wants you to change your mindset, take action, and create your own financial freedom. No matter where you start somewhere. Because the only difference between dreamers and doers is action. Congratulations, you've now completed the entire Rich Dad Poor Dad journey. You've learned the difference between assets and liabilities, why financial education matters more than a degree, how the rich think differently about money, what obstacles hold people back, and how to begin your wealth journey right now. But the real journey begins after this video, when you apply what you've learned. So here's the final question. What is one financial action you'll take today to move closer to freedom? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more life-changing book breakdowns, financial education, and action plans, make sure to subscribe to Invested Intellect. This is just the beginning. See you in the next video.